You need to stop everything. What are you doing with your life? Look at you, sitting in front of a computer with Cheetos crumbs all over your fucking shirt. You're dirt to me. You're disgusting. You're fucking sick.
Believe the picture and see the truth. 2 + 4 = 6.
We're breaking the conditioning!
Welcome back, true believers. As we continue our journey into the mysterious mysteries of Enigma, today we'll be looking at Succubus, the spectral seducer, the ethereal whore, ghost pussy. For those of you who don't know what a succubus is, congratulations. You're normal. Go to Applebee's. For everyone else, proceed. I initially began my investigation by trying to find a source, someone who could teach me how to summon a daughter of Lilith. Little did I know damnation awaited. My initial investigations led me to a dark occultic website, Succubus, dedicated to the practicing of spiritual contact. While I was hesitant at first, I knew I had found the real thing when I discovered it was run by warlock Eric von Roth, dedicated to teaching the truth behind the entities called Succubus and Incubus and the art of positive spiritual summoning. With testimonials like this, I knew I was onto the right track. Working with Eric has been both life-changing and fun. Finding a spiritual connection with my Incubus Sam means the world to me. Thanks, friend. Succubi are real. I didn't believe it at first, but when I started meditating daily and using Eric's techniques, I started getting signs from the other side. I am now closer than ever to creating visual contact. However, just as my lust was beginning to boil and my excitement building, I ran into a hurdle. I did not have $80. For if I had, I would have gotten the best-selling ebook, Succubus, a practical guide for summoning succubus, incubus, and sexual spirits. 11,000 copies sold. And of course, no demonic ritual would be complete without the Succuboard, a spirit board specifically designed with the succubus summoner in mind. Feeling dejected, I took a moment and spoke to my spirit Tulpa, Halohamana, and he pointed out that even though the website needed $80 to get ghost pussy, they still offered free lessons. If I could just get in contact with the dark warlock Eric von Roth, maybe it wasn't all for naught after all. I tried contacting Eric on his website and received no response, and that is when I learned the first lesson when summoning succubi. Be careful, because Eric von Roth, dark warlock of the $80 website, has been cursed with insanity. Algebra 9 Clearly he's being held captive in the spectral realm. With Eric incapacitated for his dalliances with the devil, I was forced to consult masters even beyond a warlock, those who were familiar with dead and decrepit things with lost hope. I was forced to consult Reddit. My first stop along the way towards gaining access to their mystical knowledge was R. Succubus. However, I quickly discovered that I was not interested in summoning an anime girl with a penis. Moving along, I consulted another subreddit. The truth is here. This is a database for non-fiction encounters within the unknown from a personal source. Finally, I would have that first-hand knowledge I had been seeking since the beginning. My experience with a succubus. This thing looked like a giant leech, and it made sense as I looked drained. I really began to look gaunt and depleted. I could draw a pic, but it was about the size of a big cat. Not wanting to make the beast with two backs with the leech, I decided to consult other experts, as Reddit was clearly insane. My next stop was the paranormal board on 4chan. Unfortunately, all they were interested in talking about was dead magicians and terrible CGI photos. Feeling dejected, I didn't know where to turn next. The warlock had gone mad, Reddit was fucking leeches, and 4chan wanted to talk about magician suicides. Maybe YouTube would be my salvation on this dark journey. After conducting a search on Succubi, I was greeted with the dark arts known as binaural beats, a way to open a portal into the ghost pussy dimension. What follows is a mere sampling of this sort of powerful and potent audio magic. After having listened to binaural beats for more than 8.5 hours on a loop while laying naked on my floor, I was left with nothing more than a headache. Clearly I wasn't versed well enough in this form of fuckromancy, with the majority of my searches having yielded little to no results and left with nothing more than a headache and a terrible visual image of a leech sucking a man's penis. I decided to expand my search by visiting your ghost stories, a repository of hundreds upon hundreds of real-life tales that completely and totally did happen. The only choice I was left with now was which of these true-life, 100% factual events should I read in order to summon a succubus. I settled on a post by Legendary from Mexico. I am currently in a relationship with a succubus. Her name is Ella. I first encountered Ella when I was up on night surfing the web. I was looking for random stuff. Since I was bored, I typed in summoning angels. Nothing of interest came up. Afterwards, an idea came to my mind. I decided to search how to summon a sexual ghost. I searched through the results until I found a story of people who had experiences with sexual beings, known as succubi. Moments after I laid there, the tingling began. Started from my right leg and moved up and down my pelvis. Then it would switch to my left leg. My hands felt like they were being lightly touched. I started to feel this tingling all over my body. At that instant, the tingling went to my sexual area. It felt like someone was slowly stroking my sexual part. It caused me to have an erection. Finally, I was on the right track. If I could get a hold of Legendary, he could tell me how he met Ella. Sadly, I couldn't. No matter how many times I tried to message him, I never received a response. And the comment section was just as baffled. Had their love blossomed and bloomed? Were they still in a human-ghost relationship? It had been 7 years. Did Legendary and Ella have a happy ending? I'll never know. Frustrated by the non-stop roadblocks that were constantly put in my way, I decided to dedicate the next 3.5 weeks to reading every WordPress and blog that I could find that would allow me to summon a succubus. After compiling all the information I had found and cross-referencing the different methodologies of going about it, I had struck out with a plan. For it to work, I would need a few simple things. 32 pieces of chalk, 18 candles, 4.5 feet of rope, the wood of a dead oak tree, the skin of a rabbit, the blood of an ill relative, 2 banana peels, and a red pen. Once the materials had been gathered together, I set about conducting the ritual, following step by step the different guidelines that I had read on all these numerous websites. I did my best to invoke a daughter of Lilith to come to me, and yet once again, the results were not what I expected. The doctors told me the ear infection will clear up in a week to a week and a half with medication, though he still questions why I decided to sleep naked in my basement in the middle of winter. Perhaps the art of summoning a succubus requires a special connection to the spiritual realm. Perhaps I'm just not versed well enough. However, there does exist one form of fuckromancy which is even older, and had I known, I could have saved myself so much trouble. I hired a hooker.